This is a Golden Age crime comic book called The Hunted number 13. It's got what they call a headlight cover, a woman with big breasts on the cover. This is a pretty cool comic. It was using Frederick Wortham. He's a psychiatrist who wrote this book called Seduction of the Innocent. I'll explain that later. This is the first story here. The story starts in the inside cover, called Danny the Dagger. It's a pretty cool story. This guy is a gangster. He's going out and killing stool pigeons, trying to figure out who took his girl and stole his racket. This guy named Monkey is his roommate, dumb friend. He tries to tell him not to go around stabbing all the stoolies. He starts beating up his friend Monkey for trying to tell him what to do here. So his friend backs off. These two guys are at a bar. They said they're not worried about this Danny the Dagger. And Danny the Dagger finds this guy. Wants to find out who turned him in, who stole his, double-crossed him and stole his rackets and his girl. This guy's like, I don't know. And he kills him here. He's going out and killing every stool pigeon trying to find out who stole his racket. Then somebody shoots him. These two guys. He's down here. They want to check out his dagger, but he comes back up and stabs this guy. Then they reveal that some guy paid them $1,000 to kill him. So he punches him. Starts stabbing him. He's about to tell who paid him the $1,000 to kill him, but he winds up getting shot and killed before he can tell. So Danny the Dagger has to run away. Comes back to his roommate. In this bar here, he's talking about he needs to do some robberies because he's low on money. He decides to rob a jewelry store here. And the cops show up, so he has to get away here. He grabs one of the cops. And the cop's coming after him with a gun. One cop knocks him over, punches him. He winds up jumping off this building and falls into a paper truck down below. Gets away. So he's got the jewelry here. He gives his little friend here a piece of the jewelry. And one day he finds his girl Pepper, the one that walked out on him. Takes her for a little ride, like kidnaps her. He starts asking, who stole you away from me? She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So he punches her in the face, calls her a two-time skirt. And he winds up strangling her to death. Takes her jewelry back. Then he leaves her in the car and pushes the car over the cliff and leaves. Goes back to his little hole he lives in. Finds another stool pigeon here. Punches him in the face. The guy's about to reveal who stole his girl and racket, and some other guy on the roof throws his brick down and knocks the guy over the head. So he's back here in his room. His friend's name is Monkey, of all names. Then his friend's like, where'd this ice come from? He's like, shut up. Then his friend finally turns and starts asking him, where'd you get the jewelry? He starts punching him. He's mad at her for murdering the girl. It turns out he's the guy that his supposed dumb friend was the one who double-crossed him. So they get into a little fight here. Fight back and forth. Then they both wind up killing each other. And that's the end of the story. These are kind of like the criminals always pay in these old stories. Two Gun Crowley. They claim it's a true crime story. I seriously doubt if it's a true story. This guy, when he was a young kid, his brother His name is Francis. His brother's name is no, his name is Jamie. His brother's name is oh, Jamie's his brother. He's Francis. I'm sorry. His brother breaks the window when he's young, teaching him how to steal candy store. Then the candy store owner catches up with him here. Candy store owner punches him in the face. His brother hits the candy store owner with a rock. They're about to leave. The guy wakes up, threatens to call the police. Then at the exact same moment, some mobsters come by and do a drive-by and kill the old man that owns the candy store because he wasn't paying protection money. So these young guys are like admirers of the mob. They want to get into that lifestyle. So when they get older here, Francis's brother Jamie's in there trying to open up a safe. Here's a big boom. And the cop shows up. And his brother pulls a gun on the cop, and the cop shoots and kills him. The young brother gets arrested. The judge lets him go free because he figures he's learned his lesson since his brother was killed. But then he vows he's going to have a life of crime. He wants revenge on all the cops for killing his brother. He goes into this gun store. The gun store owner asks for his permit to own a gun. He kills the gun store owner, takes all the guns he wants. And he sets up this log in the middle of a road. He decides to hijack a truck and steal all the goods. And the truck driver gets out of the truck. He said, let's start a partnership because he likes the kid. So they decide to rob this drugstore. And they go in here. The drugstore owner's like, I'll give you whatever you want. Don't hurt me. So they knock him out. And a customer comes into the store. The truck driver winds up knocking the customer out. Then they decide to get it to the car thieving business. They find this car. They steal. They go to this guy who buys stolen vehicles. They decide to kick his ass and take all the money for themselves here. Then they're having a little gun battle with the mobsters. And he gets the nickname Two Gun Crowley because he always shoots with two guns. They get away from the mob. Then they decide to rob a jewelry company. And the cop shows up and catches him in the act. He shoots the cop. And that's why this was in that book, Seduction of the Innocent. They call this comic book Treating Police Officers Contemptuously. And here he is getting away. He has to go down the elevator. He climbs down to escape because the cops have the place surrounded. He starts collecting his newspaper articles because he wants to be a big shot criminal. He's keeping a scrapbook. And this woman comes along, wants them to rob a factory she works at. This cop sees them driving around with no headlights on, so he approaches. So they kill the police officer. And they're trying to get away. They shoot tear gas up in there. The guys surrender. Oh, another cop gets shot because he's got two guns. The cops finally catch him. And at the end it says he's sentenced to the electric chair. But anyway, that Frederick Wortham guy is an article. He was the guy that wrote a book saying comic books caused juvenile delinquency. So he cited this comic book claiming it was bad influence on youth. But he didn't mention the fact that all the characters in this comic book usually get caught and go to jail or the electric chair. But anyway, there's a couple of con men in this story. This story is pretty good, actually. These two guys are on a gold. They're trying to find gold. They decide to pour some gold dust in this shotgun cartridge. Then he fires it into the side of this mountain here. Rock. Then he digs out the gold. He takes it to this guy in the government office and claims we think he struck some gold. He tells them meet us at the hotel lobby. So they're waiting for the guy to come over and let them know that they discovered gold, even though it's a fake. They planted the gold themselves. And the guy shows up in this hotel lobby and announces that you struck it rich. So all these other guys over here, they want a piece of the action, so they start offering to buy, 10% of the business, the gold mine. So they all start. So they tell him, "We need your cash if you want in." So they all give him $5,000 apiece, the two guys. Then they take their investors out to the mine. Then this old man's like, "We've been swindled. This gold scattered all over the rock. It's been salted." And this guy's like, then they want their money back. The criminal guy's like, "Fuck you. We sold you the shares sight unseen. It's not my fault." He punches the guy in the face when he wants his money back. So he runs off, takes off with his friends, shooting at the other guys. They run away to the next state with $25,000 they sold, or 50 grand. Then they start spending a bunch of money gambling, so they needed to pull another con here on this. They find this old man, and they claim they let this old man find the wallet and turn it in, this guy's wallet. So they give him some bullshit story. We're gonna invest some money in the stock market for you for free, and it won't cost you a penny. And he claims they made $8,000. Then he claims they got a telegram. We turned it around and made another $100,000. Then this guy claims they're holding up payment because they want to make sure, since you're a new account, make sure you have enough cash in case you lost, whatever that means. So they call the old man and tell him he needs to bring $100,000 in cash before they can turn over the winnings, which doesn't really make any sense, but it's a con. But then other guy shows up and claims somebody stole the briefcase out of my hand. And then this guy pretends to shoot his partner to scare the old man. So he tells the old man, "Don't worry about it. I'll get your money back when I get a chance. I don't want you involved in this murder." So they're laughing at the old man because there's blanks in the gun. They didn't really kill the guy. So he runs to the police and confesses, and the cops tell him he's been swindled. It was a con. So the cops are out looking for the two con men here. So he shoots a police officer when he comes up to him and kills him. If one guy gets shot in the shoulder, you have to go to find a small town doctor. The small town doctor's like, "How'd this happen? It was a hunting accident." And the guy's like, "I have to make a police report." And he's like, "Nope," punches the doctor. This guy wants to see another doctor because he's not getting up any better after 2 weeks. This guy runs out to get something to eat. When he comes back, he finds out the cop was murdered. So he decides to load his gun up and kill his friend. I guess because he wants to get away on the lam. It's easier by himself. So he goes to another small town, dyes his hair red and grows a mustache, dyes the mustache red. When he's about to check out here, the cops come up to him in the lobby. He has to make a run for it, punches one of the cops. He runs off with his gun, gets the cab driver to drive him away. The cabbie slams on the brakes, and the cops show up and arrest him. And the cop punches him. Then they find out the bellhop tipped off the cops because it was suspicious. This guy was in a cheap hotel, and he was tipping real big, and dyed his hair. He figured he was on the lam. So at the end of the comic book, this guy gets sentenced to the electric chair, just like the other story. Then they have an ad for dresses for $6.99. And they got another ad, all these different perfumes to make a man obey you. Charm of twist. All these different perfumes that are supposed to do stuff for women. 4-in-1 bargain. Reduce fat up to 5 pounds a week. That's it.